Study abroad in MSU has been going on for over 50 years, and so MSU has a long tradition. Our philosophy has become for students not a matter of if you will go abroad, but when will you go abroad.
I studied abroad in Rome, Italy, and France, and I was in the advertising and public relations in the Mediterranean program.
I could have gone anywhere. I could have gone to Mexico, I could have gone to Ecuador for a semester, and I decided to go to Spain because it was a perfect time for me. It was 8 weeks in the summer, and I didn't want to give up a whole semester at Michigan State because of Spartan Brass, so I ended up going to Europe for the 2-month chunk.
I studied abroad for 2 weeks in Ankara, Turkey, and then another 2 weeks in Istanbul, Turkey.
I studied abroad once in the fall of 2008 in Budapest, Hungary, at Corvinus University, and the second time was this past semester in the spring semester of 2010 in Palampur, India for an international internship.
The majority of our programs are study abroad, so instead of going back and reading a chapter as your homework, you're instructed to go to a museum or go to the market and speak in another language and make a purchase or something like that.
To be able to be in Italy and to interact with real Italians and learn advertising and public relations from an Italian standpoint, it added so much more to my understanding and knowledge of how the media works here.
I guess the biggest thing was I got to experience a foreign culture, which is something not many people get to do. And that was a great experience, being immersed headfirst into a culture that was very different than ours.
Gosh, being in Spain was the biggest slap in the face culture shock I've ever experienced in my life. The differences in cultures there was absolutely incredible. Like, the language barrier there, going there, you have to speak that language because nobody there speaks English, and so that was a really big thing too.
I learned a lot about interacting with cultures very different from my own. It was a progression. The culture in Eastern and Central Europe was a little different from my own, and the culture in India was very different from my own. And so I learned to work with and deal with people who are much different from me, who had different backgrounds from me.
Why study abroad? I think the first thing is that students generally choose to study abroad because they want to take classes that they can't take here, or business in Bangkok, Thailand, or race relations in South Africa. I mean, those are topics that can be studied here, but by going there and being present, it enhances the learning tremendously.
Do it. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter what you're doing. It's important, I think, to leave the country for an extended period of time, at least once in your life.
It was probably one of, if not the best experiences during my undergraduate years. I made a ton of awesome friends that I still remain close to here on campus. I learned so much. I got to interact with authentic Italians and eat awesome Italian food and just live it up. So it was great. I would definitely recommend it.
It's so much fun, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You only get the opportunity to do it once, I guess. Or, I mean, here you have the opportunity to do it multiple times, but it's definitely something that you should do during your time at MSU.
Something that somebody told me that I take to heart is that they said, if you're thinking about it at all, do it. Don't not study abroad. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it costs money, but you have to realize that the experiences that you're going to have are going to be so much worth the money that you put into it, and there's so many resources for financial aid and for scholarships you can apply for that helps so much, and it's not impossible for anybody. So it was life-changing for sure. I had a great time.
Majority of students who studied abroad, after they have graduated and moved on, when they're looking back on their college career, the study abroad experience is the most significant event of their college career. Look at people who've done it before, and when they say, what do you remember most of your college career, they'll say, study abroad.